Dragon Ball Super episode 76 is now officially in the history books, and today guys we're going to go ahead and dive into the official prediction video as we enter the debut of the Universe survival arc in Dragon Ball Super episode 77. Now keep in mind guys, if you guys have any other predictions of your own as to what you believe is going to happen in next week's episode, feel free to drop your comments during any point in the video, as I do believe next week's episode is going to be very crucial, as we do have Goku training with Whis alongside summoning the Omni King to talk to him about the tournament. And it's also very obvious for Beerus and Whis because they seem to be very concerned about this tournament, so this is definitely going to kick off and start off in a huge way. And I also do want to say before we begin the video guys, in case you guys are not following me at Twitter, make sure to go ahead and follow me at Twitter at UnrealEntGaming. The link will be down in the description below for all the latest in Dragon Ball news, information, and updates. And of course, if you guys want to keep notified of what's going on, make sure to follow me at Twitter. And of course, if you guys are new to this channel, be sure to hit that subscribe button on your way out, and don't forget to turn on notifications. That way you guys yourselves are notified of whenever a Dragon Ball discussion, review, or gameplay video is posted on this channel. Your feedback and of course your support really means a lot to me, so be sure to go ahead and spread the word about the channel guys. It really means a lot to me. So it is finally now time for us to enter the Universal Tournament, and judging based on Dragon Ball Super's episode 77 preview, we get to see how Goku is in fact training with Whis in preparation for the Omni tournament. And speaking of Omni, we get to see both Omni Kings very ominously sitting across from one another talking, as we get to see Goku towards the end of the preview arrive at the Omni King's palace, where he walks towards the Omni Kings. The Omni Kings are very happy to see him, so I do think that going into next week's episode, it's going to primarily focus on Beerus commanding Whis to give Goku the training that he definitely needs. Now of course, next week is going to showcase two primary stories, one of which being Goku training with Whis and having to speak with the Omni King, and the other story having to focus on Bulma's pregnancy and her having to be pregnant with Vegeta's second child, in which of course, if you guys have seen episode 77 spoilers, results in Vegeta not training with Whis, but instead we see Goku. So I'm predicting that next week Goku is gonna address the whole situation of the Omni tournament to the Omni King about the universal battle, and I think that Goku again is going to be the one responsible for this. But then again, I think that Beerus and Whis are gonna add a little bit of emphasis as to what exactly is on the line if Goku does not complete his task and complete his training with Whis, because as we already know, the fate of the entire universe is at hand if they in fact lose this tournament. So we get to see how Goku uses Super Saiyan while he's training against Whis. We see how Whis is unleashing these ki blasts towards Goku, and we can only assume how strong these ki blasts are, but Goku definitely turns Super Saiyan. In my opinion, I think very similar to Vegeta, I think Goku ought to train with Whis while undertaking Super Saiyan Blue, just to better perfect that form as he enters this tournament. But you also gotta give credit where credit is due, and the animation for next week's episode looks very crisp, especially the sequence when the Omni Kings are talking to each other and they're staring at each other. So I think next week is going to be the official unveil and the announcement of this multiverse tournament. So I do think that Beerus is going to tell Whis to go on ahead and continue Goku's training, given the fact that even prior to all of this, when we saw Hit arrive to Earth, we saw how Beerus was asking where Goku was, and he told Whis that he wanted him to train Goku, since of course Beerus even told Whis in front of Vegeta that Goku was indeed the leader of Team Universe 7. That kind of rubbed Vegeta the wrong way, so I think that next week Goku's really going to strive his hardest to train with Whis, but I also think that he's also going to set something up with the Omni Kings to where he accidentally allows every single universe to be at jeopardy. How? I'm not entirely sure why, because it was never previously stated that the Omni King wanted to destroy anything, but I think something is going to be brought to the Omni King's attention to where the wager is the respective universe of each and every single God of Destruction, and I don't think that we're going to get to see any other God of Destruction just necessarily yet. I do think that as the coming weeks go on by, we're going to get the reveal of the Clown God of Destruction as to who he is, the other Gods of Destruction as well. We saw the pink elephant that presides in Universe 10, that is Gowasu's God of Destruction. But in case some of you guys are wondering about next week, judging based on the preview alone, it's going to be the calm before the storm, and let me tell you, the storm is going to be very heavy because we're going to have 120 fighters with each and every single God of Destruction representative there, and there's bound to be some sort of friction and tension between every single God of Destruction. Now comment down below guys as to which God of Destruction are you guys looking forward to the most. For me at least, I have two Gods of Destructions that I really heavily favor, that being the Clown God of Destruction, and there is a snake-like God of Destruction as well, a god that looks like a cobra. So to me at least, those two Gods of Destruction strike the most interest in me at least. So comment down below as to which god intrigues you the most, and comment down below as to your overall thoughts on Goku having to battle Whis using his Super Saiyan form. Obviously enough, we already remember that when Goku and Vegeta first trained with Whis, Whis had told them not to leak their keys out their body, so hopefully enough, Goku goes into this tournament a lot stronger than how he was before. But when it comes down to the Omni Kings, I do think that both Zenos are obviously having somewhat of a conversation, perhaps maybe about this tournament, and I really hope that the present Xeno informs the future Omni King about this tournament, because the future Omni King knows nothing about this, and I do think that having to talk about this will kind of create some sort of confliction as to what kind of rules we're gonna have and how this is all gonna be settled. I really feel bad for the guards because they're definitely in charge of watching both of them. However, we get to see how the Grand Priest is also featured in next week's episode. So if I was a betting man, I would have to say that the Grand Priest is going to have some input in this tournament in terms of the rules, in terms of the prizes, in terms of the outcome. Perhaps maybe the prize is for you to live on and your universe not to be destroyed. That's how gully the Omni Kings can get. But I do think that the Grand Priest might have some input in this tournament. After all, he is prominently featured in the promotional poster. We see him in the trailer, how he's in the middle in between both Omni Kings letting out this blast. So he is going to be a very prominent person, a very important person in this arc. So I definitely think that he is going to have somewhat of an involvement as to what's going to play off in terms of rules and in terms of when this is officially going to begin. The one thing I can't say, however, is that next week we will see Vegeta and Bulma having to deal with the pregnancy, and we get to see how Vegeta's nervous, and I really don't see how or why Vegeta is nervous in the first place. He's already been through this before and he already has a child. However, in case some of you guys are wondering if the actual fighting for this tournament is going to start next week, it will not begin next week. However, the arc debuts next week, very similar to Goku Black and Trunks when they first debuted, how we didn't really get to see Goku Black at first, but then over time we got to see him. So in case you guys are really wondering if the actual tournament is going to start next week, it will not. We're going to get everyone together. We're going to assemble everyone's universe, everyone's team, all the gods of destructions. The rules are going to be put in place, and of course, hopefully enough, we'll get to find out how far in the timeline we are with Bulma being pregnant and everyone else having to come together, so we can have an established timeline as to how far this took place in terms of Dragon Ball, how far we went down the line ever since Goku Black's arrival. So hopefully enough, we'll get answers to that. But of course, Goku training with Whis is very important because Whis, the strongest angel in Universe 7, of course the strongest fighter, is training the team leader that's going to be representing and leading their universe. However, in terms of female Broly, in terms of Frost and possibly Hit, Kaba and other fighters, we haven't really got a chance to see any of them yet. There wasn't any trailer featured. However, I can promise you that once another trailer drops, we'll get a better insight as to what's going on. But I also think that going into next week's episode, we're gonna get to see Goku round everybody up, because as of this point right now, nobody has really been informed about this tournament other than Vegeta. Not Gohan, not Krillin, not 18, not 17, not even Majin Buu, Roshi, Tien Shinhan, possibly Piccolo because he was there at the original Universe 6 versus Universe 7 fight. But in terms of everyone else, nobody really knows about this. So I think, in my opinion, it's finally time for everyone else to get notice of this. So I think that towards the end of next week's episode is when everyone's going to get together, and I think that Whis is possibly going to inform everyone, all right, let's get inside the cubicle so we can go to the other place that we need to go to in order for this tournament to commence. So I think that towards the end of next week's episode is when we'll finally get a chance to see everybody rounded up together, and I do think that episode 78 is going to be the arrival of when we actually get to the arena and we get to meet all the other gods and all the other attendees and all the other fighters that are going to be presiding in this Omni tournament. So post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on Goku training with Whis? I think it's a good idea. However, I think it's a better idea to have Super Saiyan Blue Goku battle Whis. Hopefully enough, they'll get to show that, because so far they've only shown Super Saiyan 1 combat Whis' abilities, and I don't really think that's going to help Goku in the long run. However, it does better improve the state of the Super Saiyan form, but I just personally feel that if Goku really wants to maximize his powers, he ought to train with Whis in the Super Saiyan Blue form and really go all out from there. But I also think that Beerus is going to be a little concerned, because according to the spoilers, Beerus and Whis are a little worried as to what exactly, we don't really know, but they are a little concerned concerned about this tournament. So I think that Goku is going to be responsible of bringing this up to the Omni Kings, because what if they forgot and he reminds them? But post your comments down below. What are your overall thoughts on how we're going to kick off this Universal Tournament? And what are your overall thoughts on the other gods of destruction and their design? What are your thoughts on their power level? Which god of destruction do you guys believe is the strongest respective god of destruction of their universe? Do you guys believe that Beerus has a chance of winning and his team being victorious in this tournament? Or do you guys believe that there's going to be an unknown universe out there that may possibly bear even more potential than Universe 7 in winning this tournament? Thank you guys for watching. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed. If you guys are ready for the upcoming Universal Tournament, then go on ahead and smash that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe to this channel, guys, for all latest in Dragon Ball news, information, updates, what if battles, gameplay videos, and discussions. I personally think that going into next week's episode, especially with the new intro, with the new outro, and with the new information that we're going to be getting and pertains to who's going to be a part of the tournament and how everyone's going to come together, I think it's very crucial at this point to leave everything with an open mind. You can't really be so critical on something, especially if you haven't seen it, but I do think that whatever's going to be going down next week is going to lead into something big. But post your comments down below, guys. What are your overall thoughts on the animation, on the Omni Kings talking, and do you guys believe that Goku's going to be bringing this up to the Omni King? Let me know what you guys think. Thank you all for watching. Once again, tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all later. Take it easy, guys. Peace.